Example 7, who is this guy? On February the 14th, 2014, Venom was 39.5 inches. A year and a week later, Venom was 42.5 inches. Was there ever a time when Venom was exactly 42 inches tall? Explain. Well, it depends. Like to move from 39.5 inches to grow up to 42.5 inches, do I have to hit 42 in between those two? It depends on whether or not human growth is continuous. Well, is it? Look right. I don't know if you can see it in this image here. Let me kind of zoom in a little bit. Can you see right there on the door jamb, all of his heights? Oh, it's so cute. Anyway, yeah. Is human growth continuous, or is it? So think back whenever you first talked about the difference between continuous and discrete phenomena, between digital and analog. Is human growth digital? Do we grow like by in little spurts, as in first I'm 12 inches, then I'm 13 inches, and there's nothing in between there? Heck no. Human growth is a natural phenomena, and natural phenomena is analog. It is going to grow continuously, which means that the intermediate value theorem would apply, okay? All right, so here's how I would probably write this thing up. So the first part of it, remember, is that I have to guarantee that my function here is continuous. So I'm going to state that over some closed interval. Our closed interval is from, let's see, February the 4th, so 2, 14, 14. There we go. Yeah. So from that date to, let's see, what's the other date? Our other date is a year and a week later. So this is 2/21/15, right? So here's our closed interval. Okay. So I'm going to say, since human growth is continuous on this closed interval, so by the way, 2/14, Valentine's Day, it's kind of my birthday, just saying. All right, if you wanted to get me something or whatever, whenever it comes around, that'd be cool. I usually have an empty table in my classroom where I just, I keep it empty on purpose just in case you wanted to pile gifts on it or something. Anyway, what were we talking about? Since human growth is continuous and we have some sort of closed interval, and these are the x values. The times are the x values here. The growth or the height of Venom is supposed to be the y values here. And the second part that needs to be satisfied, so we got the continuous part, we need to find a height. In this case, it's going to be 42 here, 42 inches. That's in between these two. Now, I don't ordinarily state that the endpoints are not equal to each other. Instead, I set up an inequality, and I put 42 in between those two things. So I'm going to say, and we had 39.5, I think. Yeah, 39.5 inches, which is less than 42 inches, I'm pretty sure, like mathematically speaking, which is less than 42.5 inches. All right, so let's go back to this. We said it was continuous, check. We found a y value that's in between our two endpoints, check. Now we can draw our conclusion. We've satisfied the conditions here. Now we can draw the conclusion. Then there exists at least one number, c, in between a and b. And our A and B, remember, are two dates that are right here, such that f of c is equal to k. So for us, we're going to say there must have been a time, then there must have been a time let's see, between these two dates here. And I guess I need to put the year there. Must have been a time between 2/14, and it's actually like open, right? Open, not closed, right? We can see that from the little theorem right there. It's open. It's not occurring at the endpoints. Obviously, it can't occur at the endpoints because here is one smaller and one's bigger. All right, anyway, 214, 2014, and 221, 2015, such that Venom, get it right, not Rowan, Venom was 42 inches tall. There we go. There's our first instance of us justifying something based on some sort of calculus theorem. And that calculus theorem, a very important one, the intermediate value theorem. So before we look at, say, maybe an example that would appear on the AP Calculus exam, let's take a look at and rewind a little bit and talk a little bit about conditional statements. Conditional statements, remember from geometry, are if-then statements. The if is the hypotenuse that has to be satisfied in order for the conclusion, the then part, to be true. Okay, so a conclusion for any conditional statement is only true as long as all of the conditions are satisfied. So here's the checklist for the intermediate value theorem. In order to be able to draw a true conclusion from it, and this will be absolutely true on the free response question, that if you're ever asked to apply the intermediate value theorem, and it's usually in disguise, it's not like it's going to explicitly say, oh, apply the intermediate value theorem. You just have to know. Okay, so we'll see some examples like that throughout the year for sure. But I need to make sure the conditions are satisfied. The first one being that your function is continuous on the closed interval from A to B. So with human growth, with Rowan's growth there, we did it by saying human growth was continuous from those two dates, right? February 14th to February the 21st, right? Okay, a year and a week later. And then the second one is that you have to find a y value, okay, that's in between your two endpoints. And we usually establish that with just an inequality. So it's very obvious that we have a y value that's in between these two. And there's no telling which one is going to be bigger. It's kind of a case-by-case basis. So maybe it is that f of b is bigger. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, this is not happening. We're gonna come back where I left off? That is not where I left off. This is where I left off. I'm shedding a tear. Okay, anyway. We're not guaranteed that, say, the f of b is bigger, so it could go either way. So it's one of these two inequalities that needs to be satisfied. That k is in between the two endpoints, okay? Once those things have been satisfied, and I've actually written out that those conditions have been satisfied, then I can draw the conclusion that f of c is equal to k for some x value in between a and b. And so for us, for that previous example, we said that Rowan had to be 42 inches in between those two dates.